This is Odin, and today in this challenge we are going to try and work through a deathless run of Terraria and see how far we get in 5 hours. So, first things first, we chopped some wood to make a bit of a starter house for a bit of a base of operations. It was then a bit of a coin flip, east or west, but we decided to go east, where I found a massive vein of copper which I very quickly hoovered up. Carrying on east, we reached the desert, and here we harvested some cactuses. Now, this is important as this would give us our first kind of proper set of armor, cactus armor, and a decent sword. The cactus armor is important because it does thorns damage to enemies nearby if they come and attack us. The issue now was the jungle. I didn't want to go there because I felt really underprepared, so I decided to head back home. But that was my first major mistake of this run, as you're about to see. Two vultures and this thing that just shoots sand at me for some reason decided, you know what, I don't like this man. So I tried to run away, and these vultures followed me the entire way back home and then proceeded to spawn camp me the entire night. That was until I was healed up enough and I was able to kill them quite easily with the new armor and sword. The next issue was first night, where there was quite a few zombies, but I was able to kind of cheese it just by sitting on top of my house and collecting any fallen stars that came down. Now, the rest of my night kind of looked like this, except for the time I got brave and decided to build a new house for our merchant to move in. Now, I wanted him because he would give me access to an anvil, because I hadn't been able to find any iron in any of the caves that we went into so far, so I then found a massive cave system to go exploring, where I promptly found the coolest early game magic item I think I could have, a wand of sparkling. It is very much just a wand that shoots a bit of fire out of the end, and I think it was possibly one of the more useful items I had this run, as it did a bit of area damage to people and just continually set them ablaze. We then delved deeper into the cave where we found some tungsten ore, which, using bombs we had found previously, we blew up. And this was kind of going to act as a bit of an upgrade to some of our armor, even though we didn't get a lot of it from this vein. The next bit was both unfortunate and fortunate. Unfortunate because I lost progress in the cave, as I had to leave and rejoin, which set your spawn back up the top, but also good, as I found a pair of flippers, which helps you swim just phenomenally fast. Heading back down into the cave, I was able to find this miner's shaft, kind of little shack building just randomly, where we found my favorite item in the entire game, Hermes boots. Now, in all playthroughs of this game, I just like running fast. It's my kind of just character gimmick. So, using these boots, we were able to travel deeper into the cave where we found some more tungsten ore, which was connected to a dynamite, which I happened to fall on the lever for. Oh well. And we blew up some more ore along the way. After our little run on our demolition site, there was a chest next door which contained a magic mirror, which is kind of like a panic button for me this run. Anytime I felt threatened, I could just press it and I'd get sent back to the house. I then wanted a miner to move in. As we collected bombs from the cave, we now had the requirements for a miner to move in. All we needed is for him to have a house. I then decided, you know what, I'm going to be brave or stupid. Kind of depends on how you look at it, but I went into the jungle just to see what I could see. There was a chest that I found. Now, this has an item which I love, and I also think it's not all that useful. It's a radar that tells you when enemies are near. Now, this kind of just acted as a bit of an early warning sign. I then decided, you know what, I want to go fishing. So I spent a bit of this day just chilling, fishing, because sometimes you can get some decent stuff, and I wanted it to make a bit of money so I could buy a miner's helmet. Heading back down at the mines, I went deeper than I had before, and I went further west than I had before, where I found another little miner's shack, as well as a railroad for minecarts. Now, I've never had good luck with those minecarts, but in this chest I did have good luck, where not only did I find an ice machine, but I also found fluffy boots, which made me move even faster. With the minecart, I was able to travel down deeper, and I found another miner's shack, which had a very nice upgraded sword, which help me dispatch of some unwanted guests banging on the door. Now, I also found a life crystal here, which helps me increase my maximum HP. After consuming this life crystal, I was teleporting back up to home, and I found an abundance of fallen stars on the ground. Now, I wanted these to help increase my mana, which would let me use more magic-based items like that Wand of Sparkling. On the way to do that, though, the nurse arrived. Now, I didn't know they could do this, where they just appear and say, "Hi, I want a house," but she did. So I very quickly made her a house, as she would be handy if I ever got into a pickle, and I could use her as a temporary healing source, but it costs money to do so. At this point, I was feeling really confident. I've got a decent sword, I've got decent armor, I've got a magic panic button which TPs me back home, and I decided, you know what, I'm going to head back to the jungle. I'm going to push my luck, and that's exactly what happened. I drank a feather falling potion to help me cover more distance, and hopefully I wouldn't have to land anywhere as often, meaning I probably wouldn't die. But I got too overconfident. I jumped and I was killing all the enemies that came my way with relative ease until this jump. This jump possibly is the worst decision of my entire life. I should have just ran forward here, but no. I think, ooh, there could be treasure. And treasure there was. There were 2 chests down here. Now, I was thinking, you know what, what's the worst that they could throw at me? I'm pre-hard mode, I'm not going to get any turtles, I don't think. But there was slimes. Now, I haven't played this game for a very long time, and I didn't realise there was such a thing as a bee slime. And I just panicked. There was swarms of these things. I've never seen one of these before, and I just panicked. I couldn't get to my magic mirror in time, and death. I died. And there, the first one is over. I got an hour and a half in, I think, footage-wise and gameplay. I really quite enjoyed this challenge, though. I haven't played Terreria in ages, and it was kind of a bit of fresh air. Now, I do have plans to keep attempting this, and I will upload all the attempts as a bit of a compilation at some point. But if you like this style of content, 'cause it's very new to me, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment if you want to see more stuff like this. So I hope you all have enjoyed, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye!